everyone, and welcome round the table again. Ruby and I have come to Gerry's lovely space in Chorley, and we've come to have a chat with her today. I think you're the crafting crone.
Oh, I like that.
The crafting crone, or the crafty crone, whichever. When I was making the little banner for the video, I was like, ooh, she could be the crafty crone.
Definitely.
So yeah.
In both respects, crafty and craftying.
Yeah.
You're crafty, are you?
Choose your craft.
So I think I met you coming to workshops here, didn't I?
Yeah.
Or had we met before that?
We might have been in circles together and things like that. Just bobbed in same company kind of thing.
Yeah. And then I came to learn some felting and made the most beautiful goddess the one time, and drum beaters and all sorts. So, and dreads.
Oh yeah.
We made dreads here. So yeah, I've come to craft here several times.
Oh,
Do you know what it was? It was the wand making. That was the first one I did with you.
Ah, yeah.
I think so. That was still in your other space.
The wand making was lovely.
Yeah.
That's one of my favourite ones to do.
Yeah, I do like that one. Yeah.
And
did you know Gerry before?
Yeah, through, I think it was Following the Joy up at the lakes.
Yep, at Felfoot, yep.
I can't even remember how long ago. Quite a few years.
I bet that's about 7 years, because we've not been up at Felfoot for a while.
Yeah, so I think that's where I first met you. But I had heard about you before in the grapevine, doing things. And you used to, this was
the
a shop.
web on the spider's web.
Yeah, on the spider's web. And this was Gerry's shop, wasn't it?
was,
until recently.
for a long
Just
time.
till about a month ago.
Yeah. And now it's a crafting space.
Both of us.
Well, tell us about it, Gerry.
Okie doke.
Hang on, you've got a spider on your head first.
Is it a money spider?
Yeah, it is, actually.
Oh, cool. I'm loaded. You couldn't be loaded.
Cindy said about the web, and then there was a spider.
Yeah.
Go on, get off me now. That way.
So Ruby's just putting the spider outside safely while we wait. Yeah.
Okay, well, Following the Joy's actually been going in different guises for about 10, maybe 12 years.
Wow.
Do you want me to tell you the backstory, or you just want to tell me now?
What we like hearing, I think, and what people like hearing is about your journey. Like what brought you to the person you are, the space you were in, that sort of thing is really interesting, I think, for people to hear.
Well, I was I'd done 17 years at the Women's Centre in Chorley. I was the manager there, and I realised that it was the workshops and the teaching and the training that I loved. And it's like, okay, I want to start going down that route. And Andrea, my sister, and her partner at the time, Ian, they kind of financially facilitated me to leave there. And then me and Andrea set up Following the Joy. So we did quite a lot of festivals, which was lovely. And we... Andrea, I'll just tell you a little bit about the name, because that's really interesting. So Andrea is a hypnotherapist, and she did a life between lives, like transgression hypnotherapy, and she went back to Source, and she was kind of in front of this beautiful council, is what she called them. And she said, what is my purpose? Because she was like, everybody asks that question, what's my purpose? And the answer was, follow your joy. So that is why we're called Following the Joy, and that is basically what we've both done from that day on. It's like, we do things that we love, and then we just hope that everybody else loves it as well. So
too bad if they don't.
So that's a very brief kind of. So yeah, we've both been following our joy for 12 years. Andrea's got other stuff going on, so it's kind of just me at the minute. But when the kids get a bit older, we'll be collaborating again.
Yeah.
So that'll be good.
And you've got a woodlandy space as well. You've got an outdoor space.
No, the woodland space has gone now.
Oh,
the shop's gone. So anything, we've had like this
purge.
It's like, is that still bringing me joy? No, it's not. Well, we've got to go. So this is
interesting.
The crafting, the workshops, the spiritual stuff, the drumming, the singing, anything that kind of makes me light and bright and makes me go, yes, I want to do that.
Yeah.
That's happening a lot at the minute. People are reevaluating, aren't they? Women
I'm doing the same all the time.
Yeah.
And going, what is this?
Yeah.
You know? Yeah.
And things, I think, we evolve, and so we need to honour that growth and that evolution within ourselves and say, that was right for me then, and I'm different now, and how do I honour who I am now?
Absolutely.
So I'm not saying go and leave your partner, etc., 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 but I am saying that it is important to evaluate all aspects of your life.
Yeah. And for me, it's evaluating it through joy and happiness. What makes me happy?
Borrow that fan for 10 seconds.
What makes me happy? And even if you only do that one little thing for 30 minutes a day, that's 30 minutes of joy you didn't have.
Yeah.
So it's, little increments to start off with.
And I think that's a real feminine thing. I think for a long time, especially when you've got a business.
Do you need it too? We're just circulating.
Today. It's so hot.
Is so hot.
We're
loving it though.
When you've got Cindy's loving it, I'm not loving it. It's
Sorry,
too hot for me. I think when you've got a business, in the past, that was a very masculine way that we've been going forward.
Yeah.
The pushing, the hustling, the keeping up with the algorithms, the doing what you should be doing, and now I think we're coming to realise that isn't it, that it's a feminine way of flowing and what does light you up. And for me though, there's always that thing of, so I want to change loads of stuff. I've been letting lots of stuff go, but I always have that thing of, but my audience, the people that follow me, will be like, what is she doing now? Like, what, and it's trying to let go of that.
Yeah.
That change.
Yeah.
How did you navigate that?
To be quite honest, they just kind of follow you, because sometimes it's not necessarily what you're doing, it's your vibe. And they're actually going to do Ruby's workshop or Gerry's workshop or Cindy's workshop, because it's you.
Yeah.
So you didn't have any kind of things of panic of going, I'm going to shut the shop?
Oh yeah, panic all the time. It's like every time I change my mind, it's like but I've got to do what's right for me, and we've all kind of got to do what's right for us, and follow that joy.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
So tell us about what you do now. What like you've mentioned a little bit about your workshops and stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
So a lot of my workshops are crafting based. I'll go through a few other things that are on my little list. Okay. So things like upcycling, fairy doors, fairy houses. My crafting is quite whimsical. Tends to be.
Yeah. We'll put a few pictures in between.
Yeah.
Gerry is so creative. I mean, we're all creative, but she makes the most beautiful felt fairies, goddesses, and things like that. So I'll put a few pictures up.
Thank you. Dream catchers, mosaics, things with buttons. I love buttons. I've seen all my buttons over there. Oh, crikey. Things with wool. I do rackles, shamanic rackles. I also kind of so there's like the crafting, normal crafting, and
muggle crafting.
And then there's like the spiritual crafting. So, for example, as part of the Goddess Retreat days, in the afternoon after we've had lunch, it's the creative part. So, depending on what goddesses we will create. So, what did we do for Kuan Yin? We made a lovely jade and rose quartz bracelet and earrings. And then I'll just nip and get back in a minute. Oh, okay. So that's what we did for Danu, and it's all really simple, but it's the process and the intent that goes into them rather than the finished product. Although the finished product is quite nice.
Yeah.
She's Celtic, I'm
Yes.
guessing.
Yes, yeah.
And then we made from clay the image of ourselves as a goddess that we would like to see ourselves. So this is me, and I've got ample bosom. Yes, I'm compensating.
Oh, lovely.
So
I love
that's
the little leaves and things in there.
So that's me. So there's a crafting element even to the spiritual stuff that I do. We do like wand making and our own smudging sticks. I do a lot.
You do.
Yeah, there's lots.
But what is new is I'm going to do kids. So I'm doing kids crafting and also some kids spiritual stuff. Because there's a whole group of young spiritual kids out there that are lost isn't quite the word, but they've like not found their people.
Yeah.
They're on their own with their spirituality. So it might be nice to bring them together.
That'd be lovely.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be lovely. Because if you imagine going back to when you was a teenager, and there wasn't, but now they could come and meet someone else, couldn't they?
Yes.
And be,
Yeah.
that's so lovely.
Yeah.
And when do they start? The kids' ones?
They're starting in August. Yeah. I'm still transitioning a little bit from shop, so it's all my regular stuff and quite a bit of adult crafting, but the children's stuff is starting in August, and I'm really excited. I love working with kids.
That'll be nice.
Yeah.
I do, as long as they're not ruining your stuff.
Yeah.
Like if you've got paint and stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh.
I didn't do kids when it was, because I did some crafting when the shop was open, but it was just like there was just too much stuff.
Yeah.
There's a bit more room for them to run around if required.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we'll be doing little children. So the egg cups will be coming out. The egg boxes will be coming out.
Yeah.
And so we'll do little people, but I'm looking to kind of entice teens in.
That'll be good.
Yeah.
Good way to express themselves and to work through things by creating.
Yeah.
It's really important.
Yeah.
Really
And also
important.
learn it's not just Instagram aesthetic.
Yes.
Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's been really lovely to have. I've had kind of an influx of young people to the women's circle, and what they bring is absolutely beautiful. It really is. So I don't know, maybe a little teen circle. Who knows?
Yeah.
It's all still going round.
Yeah.
It's still percolating.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
I'm also percolating. The one thing that I have sort of put out there is it's called Sacred Reads, The Quiet Coven.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a book club with a difference. And it's a spiritual, witchy book club. But we're not going to all read the same book. It's an idea to come around the table with a nice brew and a home bake and talk about what you are reading.
That's nice.
Do you know what I mean? So and
yeah.
maybe share a paragraph, share a quote, share something about the author. And I know that not everyone will be comfortable immediately doing that, but just if
that's
more
lovely.
people,
That'd be
just
nice,
and then have a pool of books that people can take from. So you can take a book home with you as well.
That's
That's
a good idea.
nice.
Yeah,
I've
sort
never
of more of a sharing.
Yeah, I've never
than a
fancied
club.
book club because you've got to all read the same book and then, you know, you've got
Discuss
to
it.
you just got and I'm like, oh, I don't fancy that, but that sounds good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's more relaxed and it's
Yeah,
informal, and it's what's exciting one person is not exciting the other, but when you put it to them, it might tweak their interest and they might.
Yeah.
We had a sisters social on Friday night, so we were talking about that, and Helen says, "Well, all I read is crime novels and things like that." So, and then we were just chatting then, and I said, "Oh, new niche, witchy crime novels. Who did the freezer spell, or who's in the freezer spell, or you know what I mean? Who done it?"
Yeah. You're onto something there.
Come up with some novel ideas.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're having a bit of a laugh with it, but yeah, it should be a good evening with women round the table.
Yeah, that'll be nice.
Yeah. So I've got to up my baking. I'm not a bad baker, but I've got to up my baking skills for
My scones
for
are
book
phenomenal.
club. Then you're invited.
I'm sure that, and also I make them a really mean rocky road, and I'm sure that the ladies that come to my Goddess Retreat days are just come in for the rocky road.
Yeah.
Because every time they book on, I'm making rocky road.
Right. You're invited.
Oh, I love a good scone.
Mm.
Is it? Do you say scone or scone?
Scone.
What do
Scone.
you say? I say scone.
South
Tom
Africa
says
scone, and they warmed like like they do in Scotland.
Do you have jam and cream as well?
Jam and cream on top. So is that the Devon or the Cornish way?
I'm not sure.
I don't know.
I think it's Devon.
I have cream and jam.
I don't have any cream because I don't like it. I just have jam.
It's got to be clotted cream though.
Yeah, all right.
It's got to be clotted cream. I love it. I absolutely love
Oh
it.
dear.
Yeah.
No. I've never liked cream, even when I was little.
I don't
Any
like
cream.
normal cream, but clotted cream. Oh,
No.
and you don't really get it in South Africa.
Do you know?
No.
Do you like whipped cream?
I'm not a fan of whipped cream.
Not on
but
a scone.
No.
No, it's got to be clotted on.
But clotted cream. Oh.
Gone right off on a tangent, haven't we?
Someone mentioned scones.
Dribble. Yeah.
Oh, melting.
That's okay.
So hot.
So we've been treated beautifully here. We've got proper teacups and vegan biscuits and all sorts. Yeah.
And lovely flowers. These are gorgeous
They're nice,
colour, aren't they?
The colour of those roses is beautiful.
Beautiful.
Yeah,
I
it's
like
really
those sort of
lovely.
really antique-y things. I'm starting a goth garden in the front. So all sort of shades of black and then that sort of salmony peach colour in between, just as a nod, and some purples as well.
Nice.
So those would do well as a
Yeah, they're lovely,
as a
aren't they?
purple rose in the garden.
So how did you start, Gerry, with your journey? Like, so there's you and Andrew. Have you got other siblings?
I've got a brother. I don't see a great deal of Paul. Birthday's Christmas and a few times in between. But he's lovely and I do enjoy his company, but we just don't see much of each other. My journey, I kind of started in my 20s with Reiki. And I'm very much of, it's like, I'm open to anything, I will try anything, but then once I've tried it, it's like, okay, prove it, you've got to work, or you're out.
Right.
So, and Reiki proved itself time and time again. So yes, started off with my Reiki journey, and then I went back to university, and one of my modules at university was religion, and you could choose any religion whatsoever, and I'm like going through religions going, And I went, can I do witchcraft? They said, yeah. So I'm like researching it and going, wow, oh God, this is me. This is like what I've been doing naturally since I was kind of 20. So it was really affirming to do that research, and then there was the witch trials and the way that impacted on me. So yeah, that whole period of time and that research kind of was a real changing point. And then what did I do next? I did some counselling training, so that kind of got me in touch with who I am, because you can't do counselling without having counselling. So you have to dig deep and get to know yourself very well. So yes, so a lot of that, and then all of that led me to the Women's Centre. So all my life has been dedicated to women. I have a real, and it still is. I work with the Divine Feminine. I work with the Goddess. It's very much women's circles. I don't think I have any men come in at all. So I don't know whether that's my energy. You're very welcome. But it just doesn't happen.
Yeah.
Very often. So yes, I love working with women, and I love being in their energy and what they bring to the table. It's beautiful. So after the Women's Centre, I've told you that bit at the beginning.
Yeah.
So that's before then. So yeah, lots of Reiki, a bit of witchiness, and then kind of sharing my knowledge and sharing my energy and empowerment. The empowerment of women is key for me in everything that I do. Yeah.
And was you crafty as a child? Was you like creative?
The crafty side. When I left school, I went to do A-level art, because I loved drawing and I loved mucking about with stuff. But I only did a few weeks. It was just like, you want me to do that? I don't want to do that. It was like they were trying to, I don't know, it's like you've got to learn this style and you've got to learn that style before you can have your own style. And it was like, well, I'm not willing to wait. Yeah. So yeah, I didn't last very long at college, which is why I went back in my 30s. So yeah, it wasn't. I felt like they were trying. It was just too
formal.
Yeah.
So with my practice, I would say I'm more elemental, earth magic.
Yes.
So I'm obviously with air, fire, water, spirit, that sort of thing. I don't often include goddesses in my practice. So it's always nice to speak to someone who does something different. In your practice, who would you say was your go-to goddess? Or the one you most identify with even?
Do you know, I don't know if I can pick one, because they go in phases.
Absolutely,
so when I'm going through changes, it's Kali. When I'm all loved up, it's Kuan Yin. And when I need some, I'm very, very drawn to Celtic goddesses. So Danu. Oh gosh,
I don't know much about Danu. Do you?
No.
Danu was considered the original goddess. She birthed.
Ah, right. Okay,
she
I know who you're
birth to
talking
all
about
the,
now.
To all the other
Yeah.
gods. Yeah, gods and goddesses. So there's different goddesses for different phases.
See, Hecate calls me, but she's also seen as the goddess who was created.
Yes, but because they kind of merge. So you've got
Yeah.
from different cultures and different. They're potentially kind of all the same goddess.
Yeah.
to certain degrees, but they've been. They kind of the qualities merge. So there we've got Kuan Yin, who her qualities have the same qualities in a Celtic goddess. So you will have the same archetype as Kuan Yin in a Celtic goddess, or from wherever.
Yeah.
So they kind of merge. So Greek merge into Roman, Egyptian. So there's
Yeah.
It's quite.
I find it quite confusing.
It is a little bit confusing.
And that's probably why I haven't sort of grabbed at it,
Yes.
because I'm like, who do I pick? Why do I pick?
You just go with it. It's a bit like crystals. It's like,
well, I can't pick those either because I've got so many favourites.
you go with what you're drawn to at that particular time.
Yeah.
And you will find that the archetype of that goddess at that time is exactly what you need. What's a nice way to do it is just do a deck of goddess cards. Just put them out. Say, who am I supposed to be working with? Just pull one out, and she's the one.
We'll have to do that just now if you've got a deck.
I've just realised that there is a goddess that I would consider me, and it's Udimi.
Okay.
Udimi is the goddess of laughter and fun and creativity.
That makes sense.
Yes. So she's lovely.
And where's she from? What's her origin?
Japanese.
Okay, Udimi. Interesting.
Yeah.
I've done a lot of work with Shakti. I did almost a full year with Shakti energy, and then I've been really called and drawn to Kuan Yin recently. But Hecate is my sort of, I feel her, if that makes sense, more than the others.
She's the goddess of witches.
Yeah.
She's also what they consider a dark goddess. So you can do a lot of shadow work.
I do a lot
her.
of shadow.
Yeah.
My practice is very shamanic, very intuitive, but it is all very undercover.
Yes. Yeah.
Cloaked.
She's perfect for that.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So, but I don't ever feel called to. So on my altar, I don't have goddesses, statues of goddesses. I have a lovely picture of a really wizened old woman behind my altar, and she's holding the world in her hands.
To buy that my sister for her birthday. Don't tell her.
Okay. Yeah. So I saw that, and that I thought, that's got to be as a background for my altar. But on my altar usually there is something to represent each of the elements.
Yes. Yeah.
I have a picture of myself under a mirror. So that's spirit, and it's my spirit that holds the altar. And then I've got a mirror, and then whatever I'm working on, whether it's self-love or manifesting or whatever, I will use crystals and herbs and all different things and create on the mirror.
Yes, that's
so
nice. That's
how I do it.
Yeah.
Have you got any altar spaces in your home that you create?
Yes, the fireplace in the front room is my altar. It's got the statue of Gaia, because she's Earth again.
Yeah.
And she's the main focus, and then things get added around her. So definitely the elements.
Yeah.
I've got something to show you. I'm going over there again.
Oh yes, I've seen those.
So when I'm working with the moon, I might use her.
Yeah.
And this is Gargan. Gargan is my spirit guide.
Okay.
Yeah, he's a little bit wider set in reality. when I see him, he's a little bit wider set. He's quite a burly guy.
Okay.
And he is a Irish druid, which makes sense with my feelings around Celtic stuff. So my friend Janine is a spiritual artist, and she paints guides, and that's isn't he lovely?
Beautiful.
He always appears on my right hand side.
Mm.
And what's this one?
That's the
moon.
That's the one I use when
You're working with the moon
energies. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So she'd go on the altar if
Right.
we were doing
Yeah.
some-
Yeah. If you were doing.
Yeah. So it
Moon
depends
is-
on the theme. Depends
Yeah.
on what's on the altar.
Yeah. Have you got any goddesses you work with?
None.
No.
I've-
You are
I've
the
read-
goddess.
Yeah. I started reading a book, I can't remember what it was called, and it explained all the different goddesses in detail, and you was meant to work with each one, and then at the end of it you'd go, oh, I identify with that one. And I started reading and I was like, oh, I don't like that about her. And then I'd read the next one and be like, and then I read it and I thought, I've got nothing from this, like nothing at all. But then years ago when I was learning about Norwegian things, I was more drawn to the gods and goddesses in the old ways there, but I've not really done anything deep with it.
Yeah.
I've not really. You know, when you just feel like, oh, that's like, I'm the same with crystals, like, oh, they're pretty, they mean nothing to me. It just feels like that. But I have looked, but no, nothing at all. Yeah.
Nice.
Sorry about that.
You're all right. I think with the Norse goddesses, because obviously my ancestry is Viking on my dad's side. Freya is one of the goddesses that I identify with the Norse sort of traditions. But yeah, it's just really interesting how we all differ but the same.
Yes.
Differ but the same.
Yeah.
Freya's great for getting some fire in your belly.
Yeah.
She's a warrior and she's fab.
Yeah.
She's good.
Yeah, I did a beautiful workshop course it was years ago in South Africa, and it was based on the book The Goddesses Within, and I can never pronounce the author's name. And it was an entire weekend where the host took us through obviously all the goddesses and things, and we had to see where our strengths and our weaknesses were, and at that stage I was very much a Demeter, wanting to be an Artemis. So we honoured Demeter and we sort of said thank you very much for serving me for now, and then she had a dress up box and we had to dress up and write a poem and do all. It was really worth it.
Yes.
It was really worth it. It was a lovely weekend spent in the energy of the goddesses, but I haven't sort of done anything.
Yeah, the goddess retreat days are beautiful.
Yeah.
They really are.
So some of the work that I was doing for my diploma last year was based on working with crystals and the goddess. And since then I've been working. So we did a lot of Isis work and Hecate work and different things. And then I wrote part of my thesis on combining crystals and the goddess. And so now I'm offering goddess activations as a session.
Nice.
With crystals, yeah. So I've developed like this activation process where also you choose which goddess you are sort of drawn to.
Yes. Yeah.
And then afterwards there's a meditation where I take you to meet the goddess and things like that. So that's
It's
quite nice.
Very similar to what I do. Lovely.
Do you do the same on your retreats?
Yes, we I start off just an overview of what her archetype is, and then we do a meditation to meet her, and then we have a beautiful lunch together, and then we kind of craft in her image. Or not really.
And you choose one goddess at a time?
Yes, yeah.
So who's your next one?
We've got a little tweak for the next one, because it's not actually one goddess. It is working with goddess. Goddess. My God. Put my teeth back in. Working with goddesses who are epitomised by wolves. So we're actually working with wolf energy and the goddesses that are so associated with them.
Okay.
Oh, that sounds good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sounds really good.
And how did you get into goddesses? Or how did they come across, how did they come on your radar, or where did it come from?
It really was a natural thing, and it kind of just naturally happened. I would say it was my work with the earth and Gaia, and then that really strong connection with her just led to me having a look at other ones. So yeah, it was. I can't really pinpoint a process that happened. It was a real natural.
Like an unfolding.
Yes. Yeah. But it was. I'm just trying to think. I think it was because, I know this is going to sound strange, but my sister had angels, and I didn't have a particularly strong connection with angels, and I wanted a divinity or an energy to work with, and they weren't my thing. And then it was like I found the goddess, and it was like, oh, yes, she's for me. So yeah, felt like I'd come home when I discovered the goddess. And I've tried lots of different things, and that's what I'm supposed to work with.
That's nice. That's really interesting, because I am more drawn to angels, and I do feel a connection. Yeah. So it's funny, isn't it?
So that's probably more your thing.
Yeah.
It's funny, when you were talking now, I just sort of got all thoughtful, and I think with me, with the goddess, I believe in one goddess. I believe it's all one thing, I think, to me. And I work a lot just with maiden, mother, crone energy.
Yes.
Do you know those energies?
Yeah.
Whereas when you look at the maiden, underneath the maiden are all these Bridget, Aphrodite,
absolutely.
All the goddesses that would feel that energy. Then you've got the mother energy, and again you've got all the mother goddesses, including Gaia and whatever.
I totally agree.
And then the crone energy.
Yeah.
And I think I've always seen it as all one thing. The goddess. I mean, when you said the goddess, it's just like, yes, that's what it is for me.
I think
it is.
The goddess resides in us.
Yeah.
And we hold the energy of the mother, maiden, and the crone.
Yeah.
And we hold the goddess within. We look to the archetype, to the characteristics of the goddesses that have, gone through time. But at the end of the day, that energy is within us.
Yeah.
We relate through the different types of goddesses to ourselves.
Yeah. Interesting.
That makes much more sense now when
Yeah.
you've set it out like that and said that.
Yeah.
Because before, in my head, it was an outside thing, and I thought, why do people, I know obviously angels and other stuff are outside things, but it never clicked in my brain till then.
I've always been opposed to worshipping anything. So in the church, any sort of Mary, Jesus anything like that, I've never understood it.
No.
Because if you are truly spiritual, you know that you are it and it is you.
Yes.
So I often get people in the shop and whatever, and I end up saying to them, I am you, you are, we are. And then I just leave it there and they go, yeah. But if we truly are, we are each other, we are a reflection of each other, and I don't know how to describe it, but that's what I think. So for me to say that when I look at Christianity, I don't agree with that idol worship or whatever. The same applies to me in my sort of spiritual and witchcraft thing. Is I don't agree with, and it's not I don't agree, I don't resonate with placing an external thing to worship because it is me.
Yeah.
And then when I don't often call for help, but there have been times in my life where I've really called for help. I imagine a web, and I literally imagine that all those who are connected to that web, all those woman goddesses, it's irrelevant of time. Time is immaterial. They're all right there, right now, and I might do the goddess chant at that time. Don't do it any other time, and then I will call and say, "All seekers, all sisters of the web, hear me now." You know what I mean? And I do believe that on some level, then anyone who is connected will hear me, and that adds to what I'm asking.
Yes.
That adds power or energy to what I'm asking.
Yeah. I get that.
But I see us as all they're all there, all at the same time.
I love Jesus. I've just got to say that. I think Jesus is, I can't swear, phenomenal.
He's
Because
a
I
great,
reckon he was
great
just like
person.
one of us, going round, giving out nice advice, being kind, and being like, "This is the way." Do you know what I mean? I am the way, and I'm the light, and I am, and
There
you
are-
are,
yeah.
and you
Yeah.
are.
Yeah.
Like, but
Yeah.
I think religion got twisted when, let's face it, men used it as a form of control, and then it's somehow been turned into this power thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know.
Yeah. I'm up for Jesus. He's got a great energy.
To me, he's an initiate.
Yeah.
And when you said a council, when Andrea saw a council, to me, when I stand in front of what she perceives as a council, I stand in front of initiates, people who have processed and been through a lot, but they're not people. They're higher than that.
Yeah.
And to me, Jesus was an initiate who walked the earth at that time.
It's what we call them Reiki Ascended Masters.
Yeah,
So
ascended.
there's, it's, I think Jesus was not necessarily the Son of God, although we are all, depending on the concept of God, we are one. I forgot, it's gone now.
It sounded really profound.
Completely.
I know, I also start on something and then I think, oh, I had a good thought there. And then, as soon as you start putting it into words, it goes. But yeah, it's really interesting, that the whole Christianity, Jesus and that, because I don't negate it. It's just not for me.
No.
I think because I was brought up in that.
Yeah.
I think I that was my foundation for 16 years. This is what it is. I didn't know anything else existed. I was unaware that there was anything else at all apart from that. So it's almost like If you was a kid and you'd grown up on an island with no TVs and no radio, you would, and nobody said there's a different part of the
I'll put
world.
my hand up because I've had an idea.
Go on. I'll remember.
No, you go.
No, go on.
You're a better woman than me.
Go on, I'll remember. Carry on.
So, boom. So, you know, like the Bible is stories centered around there. So the gods and goddesses are stories centered around there to teach lessons,
Yeah.
to as guidance, just as the stories about that Jesus the parables and the gospels and that are all centered. So it's like just two different Bibles, isn't it? And then you've got the Quran and the, I don't know what the Jewish equivalent is. I don't know what it's called. I didn't know. But it's Torah.
Yeah.
So all these parables and stories are just guidance on living.
Yes. And totally in line with the era. So you look at the myths of the gods and the goddesses, and you know there's like the slaying people and you know they're accumulating wealth and all the things that you know. Maybe in this day and age you might, as a spiritual person, you might go, but it's very much of that age. That was the concept of power at that time.
Yeah.
So it's a reflection of not just the where they've come from. It's also a reflection of the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we're looking back at it all from our perspective in this time now, aren't we? We're having a different. If we were there at different points in time, we'd have a totally different opinion. Which takes us back to what I was saying, because I was brought up in that till I was 16 and didn't know anything else. That was my reality, and then after that, then I realised, oh, hang on a minute, there's other stuff, and then looked through all the other stuff, like went into loads of different things. And I think I've come full circle in the way that the Bible is a storybook, but there's loads of stuff in it, especially now, the stuff that's playing out in the world where you go, here we go, this is it. It's like, do you know what I mean? Like a prediction thing. Here it is. But the morals are, be kind, be nice to each other, do not look after each other. It's just the same.
Yeah.
It's just the same. But I think in times of need, I think I automatically go to angels and Jesus because that is what I knew as a little girl.
Yeah.
And it's not that, and I don't believe in the church, and I don't believe in priests and all that. Do you know what I mean? I don't believe in that. I don't believe a priest's more powerful than I am, or more connected to God than I am. But I love Jesus, and I love the angels and stuff. And we've started listening to he's a country rock guy. We went to his concert last week in Glasgow. Oh my God. And he's got a song, and it says, hang on, I've got to get my head in it now. It says something like, and I read the good book, because he was brought up religious and then realised there was different things. I read the good book, and basically I'm going to ad-lib now because I can't remember the words. But the story that's running through it is it's been the end since the beginning. So since the beginning of time, since the beginning of the Bible, since the beginning of history, the world's coming to an end. And it's still the same. But what if this is the beginning now? Everybody's going on, oh, I've gone off on a right when I get on there. But everybody's like, it's the end of the world. There's war, there's famine, there's all this. But what if it's the beginning? What if we're going to reset it and it's the beginning again?
Yeah.
Like, so that made loads of sense.
Yeah. What you've got to remember about the Bible is it was edited quite heavily.
Yeah.
After it was written.
Yeah.
If you read the Dead Sea Scrolls, the Nag Hammadi scripts, that adds a completely different element in.
Yeah.
And when I read about Jesus and I read through those sort of things, he was very much teaching what do you think the light above the disciples' head was, that flame that they saw. he was doing a lot of spiritual stuff with them, a lot of the Gnostic stuff.
Yeah. And there's like whole gospels missing.
Yeah.
You know, Mary Magdalene's gospel, and
Yeah.
there's
Of the
the
females,
females
yeah.
were taken out.
Yeah, he got, King James did that, didn't he? He had it
Yeah.
rewritten, took all the women out and left the ones in to be prostitutes or
Yeah.
lesser women and stuff like that,
Yeah.
and it was completely...
So we don't actually know. I don't think
No.
anyone has ever seen the full.
Because it's
Oh.
his story.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
It's not she's story, is it?
No, yeah.
No.
I watched a video yesterday and it was on about COVID, and the guy said, if you read the Wikipedia page about COVID, it's like an apocalyptic disaster. He said, so imagine in 50 years' time, somebody that didn't go through it,
Okay.
they'd read it and they'd go, oh my God, this was terrible.
Yeah.
And he said, I'd walk in the park every day and, do you know what I mean, and chat to my neighbours, and it wasn't what you was reading. So how on earth can we believe any history? How can we believe any of it?
I don't.
No, I don't either. Like, do you know what I mean? But that's because it's a
Yeah.
recent thing and they've written it down, and then people in the future will read it and go, whoa, that happened.
Yeah.
But it wasn't like that. It wasn't what's written.
That's
So
why
if that's something
listen to the news. I don't
no.
read a
No,
newspaper. I don't.
But if that's such recent history,
Yeah.
the history that we're reading about in the past, it's just a load of rubbish. There's a brilliant book, The Great Cosmic Mother. Have you read that?
I haven't. But it's on my radar.
Yeah, and that's about
Yeah.
her story, so not history,
Yes,
her
her
story,
story.
and it's fascinating, and it makes you so...
Are you reading it at the moment?
I started reading it a while ago, but it's really heavy, but I'm going to pick it back up again, but it makes you so angry. Like reading it and going, oh my God, this is what they changed, and this is what we believed. Like, for example, and I didn't get this out of there, I got it out of something else that I can't remember. You know when Jesus went into the cave for 3 days and then he come back out and he was like disappeared or reborn, or I can't remember.
Resurrected is the word you're looking for.
Resurrected, that's it. So what it actually was, years before, women would go into the cave and there'd be a labyrinth in the cave and they'd walk the labyrinth and it'd take 3 days. And when they was walking the labyrinth inward, that was when they were reflecting on everything.
Yeah.
When they were walking on the labyrinth coming outwards, that's what they wanted for the future. So when they came out of the cave after 3 days, they were resurrected. And I was just like, oh, for God's sake. Really? Is there anything?
No, there's not a lot of that's not been messed with.
Yeah.
Andrew's loving India.
Yeah, pictures
Yeah.
are amazing,
Yeah.
aren't they? Well, amazing. I bet it's
I
pretty
still
hot
want to
over
go.
there.
I'd
Do you?
love to go, yeah.
I wouldn't. It'd be too hot for me. I'd be a nightmare traveller.
I couldn't
No.
handle that heat. Today is like top line hotness for me.
Yeah. So,
You see,
what's top for you, Cindy?
I'm used to it because, like in small villages where like my family stay, it can get up to like 40, 42.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah.
I just have to be
So
in
people-
water up to here all day.
So everyone's got a swimming pool, but people tend to go out in the morning and then come in, you know, over sort of the heat of the day and that, and then do things later in the evening as well.
I'd be so lazy. I'd just lie there going, oh, it's too
Yeah,
hot.
and we've all got like ceiling fans
Right.
and we don't have aircon and things like that, but we've got ceiling fans and that. Also, we have windows that work, windows that open.
Uh-huh.
So yours like open like a little bit here and a little bit there, and like we moved into a house where out of like a big window pane like that, there's one little top one and one little bottom one that open.
Yeah.
In South Africa, all your windows open and they open all the way out and you can just tighten them up.
That's good.
You know what I
used
mean?
To be
So-
like that, didn't
So
they?
you get the
Yeah,
full,
yeah.
and so our front doors stay open, our windows stay open and there's constant movement, and then we've got ceiling fans that move the air in the rooms as well.
Mm. When I was a kid, our windows opened like that,
Yeah.
wide. Like when
Yeah.
they were wooden, they did, didn't they?
Yeah, I
think
just
they
don't know
changed
why.
it.
Fire. Isn't it? And we've got one fire window in the whole room, in the whole house, which is our bedroom, and that opens completely, and all the rest don't.
It's madness, though, isn't it?
Oh, if something happens and you need to escape,
My house didn't fit.
we
in
always
one
used to
of
climb
them,
out the
is it?
windows.
Yeah,
In South Africa, you
Yeah.
climb out the window.
yeah. You just wouldn't here. They're too
You
small.
couldn't. We couldn't.
Push.
So you're going to teach us something?
Yes.
Yeah.
You probably might even know it already.
Which one?
We are the women.
Oh, I've got a thing.
I might know it. I don't know.
Are we ready?
Ready?
Okay. So this is one of my favourite chants.
Hang on. Start again.
Sorry. Okay.
This is one of my favourite chants. I tend to do this at the beginning of the circles and the goddess retreat days, and it's really easy. So just join in with me when you're ready. If you might know it already.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to get right. We are the women. We come to drum. We are the channel neath the earth and the sun. We hold the wisdom of the ancient ways, and we'll bring peace to this troubled day. We are the women.
Hang on. Sorry for interrupting. But what I'm thinking is, because you're singing so lovely and I've got a really boyish voice, let's clip the mic on you and then it can hear you.
We hold the wisdom of the ancient ways, and will bring peace to this troubled
It's funny drumming with another drum. I'm used to mine, and it's like, oh, that makes a different sound. Thank you.
That was ace, Gerry.
Did you enjoy that, love?
Yeah.
Yeah. Have a sip. Chin chin. We can just say goodbye standing, can't we?
Yeah.
So, guys, that's it from us today in your lovely studio. Thanks for having us.
Thank
It's
you
been
for
lovely.
coming. It's been
Lovely
great.
to hear your laughter again.
Yeah. So lovely.
So, our bums are numb,
Our
our brews are through. We'll see you soon.